What's up, guys? Today we will talk about static website hosting on AWS. We will look at solutions that work really great, and also we will touch some pitfalls that look great on paper but not possible to implement on AWS yet. And also in the end I'll give you some tips how to deploy a static website to Amazon faster. The classic solution for static website hosting is to use S3 bucket for objects and route traffic via Amazon CloudFront. Amazon CloudFront can resolve SSL connections close to user in HLocales. Also, it will do caching of the objects and will speed up the delivery of static objects. And this solution is really popular. There are many solutions on GitHub. For example, these modules I use personally. I recommend them. So if you like Terraform, there are modules on Terraform. If you like serverless, there are solutions on serverless. There are edge locations. So CloudFront is not central server. It's a distributed system. So CloudFront consists of hundreds of servers around the world. And each of these servers, it's like a small edge of the CDN. So every edge can perform caching and also every edge can deliver objects to the end users. And this way edge locations are really close to end users, and usual latency between end user and edge locale is less than 50 milliseconds. But then, because we have only one S3 bucket, then latency between edge location and S3 bucket depends on region of S3 bucket. Sometimes it's really slow, but in case S3 bucket is deployed on another continent, it can be 200 milliseconds easily. So this way, in case object is cached, it will be fast anyway, but in case object is not present in the cache, then sometimes user might experience latency like 250 milliseconds, maybe even more. So ideally we should solve it. Probably ideal scenario will be that to still use CloudFront as CDN, but to have objects present in every region, so maybe multiple S3 buckets, so that objects will be delivered to edge locale and then to end user with minimized latency. So let's look, is it possible on Amazon or not? So first idea that comes into mind is S3 replication. S3 replication is a feature from Amazon that allows to replicate objects from one bucket to another. However, after a few tries, I discovered that it's not possible to replicate objects to multiple buckets. You can replicate only to one bucket. And it's just not possible to configure replication to two buckets. So it's not gonna work. Okay, maybe then we can configure replication by chain. So first bucket replicates to second, then second bucket replicates to third. Unfortunately not. It's also not gonna work. And only one solution that Amazon left to us is to do replication manually. So, okay, we can have multiple S3 buckets. We can deploy objects to them manually. Okay, at least it's gonna work. And then our next thing to solve is how to route traffic between these S3 buckets. So even though CloudFront has multiple edge locations, it's still one system. So it should be one configuration, and this configuration should understand. For example, if there is request from Italy to edge location in Milan, then to which bucket should this request go? And solution that comes from Amazon, it's Route 53 latency-based records. However, in this case, they're not gonna work because Route 53 latency-based records work if in case target is load balancer or some static IP address, but it cannot work if target is S3 bucket. So unfortunately, it's not possible as well. And then the only one solution which is left to us is our original, very simple, just one bucket and CloudFront distribution. Yeah, it has some downsides in case S3 bucket is too far away from end user, some latency might be, but it's only first time. But then for cached objects, it will be fast anyway. And yeah, also it's only one solution nowadays which is possible with AWS. So yeah, I would recommend to just use this. Don't try to configure any complex stuff with multiple S3 buckets, because yeah, in most of the cases it's it's not gonna work. The only thing is that in case it's for production, don't forget to configure some bucket for access logs to be able to analyze in future who is coming to your website. And also the application firewall is very handy if you need to block traffic to website for certain users, for certain IP addresses, etc. And then tips time. So during this simple setup, CloudFront and S3 bucket, what do you think? How much time would it take for Amazon to make it work? And the answer really depends in which S3 region the bucket is. So in case bucket is in Virginia region, it's like original region for CloudFront. Also this region is named like US East 1. Then setup time will be just 1 hour. Well, just maybe not the right term, but it will be 1 hour. But in case S3 bucket is in any other regions, then setup time is really increased. Like on average, it's maybe 2 hours, but could be up to 12 hours. So it means when you are hesitating and not sure in which region to put S3 bucket, just put it to the US East 1. Otherwise, just be aware that setup time could be longer than expected. Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. In case you see that something is not correct anymore, please leave me a comment. And yeah, see you next time.